folks, how are you? This is Jim Miner, your Greater Phoenix area realtor, and I'm bringing you the Cromford Report prepared by Michael Orr from Arizona State University. Hey, hope you folks still have those homes connected to the foundations and the roofs are still on. Ours is, and the weather's cooler. I'm happy. Let's go forward talking about some real estate and find out what's been going on this last month out here in Greater Phoenix. Well, I want to put this chart up prepared by Michael Orr here. First off, let's start off with this little bit line right here. When we examine the individual single-family markets for each major market and secondary city, the picture is quite negative for sellers. Probably means it's positive for buyers, except in a handful of cities. Now, some of you folks are new, and you're going to be looking at this, and it's going to make 0 sense to you. So let me explain a couple things. First off, obviously, you've got rankings over here. You've got your cities here. But this is where it gets so confusing. Now, remember, when you see these numbers right here, and we're going to look at a couple other charts, 100 is your baseline. Anything above 100 is considered to be a seller's market. Anything below 100 is considered to be a buyer's market. Let's don't get hung up on 99 and 101. But when you start seeing 172, 139, that's a seller's market, folks. And you can see these areas. Now, I'm going to let you know something. These cities right here are starting to soften big time. You know, and you kind of look at these and think, what do these things have in common? This is where you have an aging population tends to locate, and they tend to purchase their properties with cash. And I'm telling you, getting loans right now is tough. And you get down here at the bottom, Maricopa, Laveen, Buckeye, Queens Creek, Tolson, Casa Grande. These all have a little something in common too. It's kind of the outlying areas. And this area down here, folks, buyer's market. Look at these numbers. That's way below 100. That's buyer's market. Remember what I've told you about the buyer's market. When you're in one and you're a buyer and you're trying to purchase a property, ask for concessions because you're probably going to get them. And if you don't get them, the seller's probably not going to sell their property. Remember, concessions, you know, things like 3% contribution to your closing costs, things of that nature. It isn't the lawnmower and things like that, okay? Now, hey, you can read this. You can take the time. I want to leave a post-it up there so you can stop the video and kind of see where your city's at, all right? Now, I want you to look at something else here because this is, I've had people asking me about where are the deals. Well, they're really referencing when they talk about deals, they're talking about where are those homes that we saw in 2010, 2009, do they still exist? Sorry about all the stuff going on with the computer here, just trying to get the right page for you, okay? So let's let it get collected, let it collect its thoughts, and then let it show us what it's supposed to be showing us with this high-speed internet. And it's slowly becoming medium speed internet. Okay, let me hit the pending foreclosures. All right, this is kind of interesting. And the reason I say that is because some folks have been reading the paper saying, oh, there aren't any more foreclosures. And when I say any more, hardly any. Yeah, not quite true. Here you see, this is the year 2014, 2013. 2012, you can see the color coordinators here. You can see the number of units. You can see the months. It's bouncing along at 4,000. Here's the thing that's kind of interesting. Go back and look at 2003. Look at that. You have almost 6,000 pending foreclosures per month. And then you say, well, show me the granddaddy of them all, 2005, when the market was scooting right up. Look at this. You still had 2,500 a month. Foreclosures are here, folks. And unfortunately, they're not going away. And there can be had deals in those areas, but boy, you have to have a lot of patience. And sometimes buyers don't have that kind of patience. Well, that's okay. You're probably not going to get that property that maybe is 20% under the market. Okay, but I thought you might kind of enjoy seeing that. It's a little bit different perspective on the conversation when people start talking about pending foreclosures. Okay, as we all know, one thing we do, we always start checking these charts, checking that dashboard right now. Folks, for those of you who are new, let's talk a little bit about this dashboard, okay? We're going to, assuming I can learn how to click my mouse, here's the dashboard that we start off with, the Cromford Index, October 2nd. Kind of looks like a dashboard, you know, the old 57 Chevy. And you look at the numbers on here, okay? Here's the thing. If you are below 100, it's a buyer's market. If you're above 100, it's a seller's market. The farther you go, the stronger the buyer's market. The farther you go this direction, the stronger the seller's market. So you can see, and this is over the last 30 days. These are, each one of these dots represents a day. You can see the configuration we have. Overall market right now, the greater Phoenix area is showing 96.7, pretty close to a neutral market. But let's click on demand. Look at this chart right here. Kind of dropped off, and then you got a little bump up here. But you know, we're still at 81.3. Tells you demand is still weak. And then if you go over here to supply, for those of you who've been watching, you remember seeing supply coming down, and now it's starting to saucer out in this 84 area. So we still have, yeah, it's not the strongest market for supply. It's increasing, not getting crazy. It's the demand is the one that's the kicker in this whole deal. See, here you had demand was moving up and kind of bouncing along the 82 line, and thus because you had supply going down, demand was holding flat, you had the market would get shown as moving up. But right now it's not the strongest of markets out there, folks. So hey, let's look at the other thing, because remember, this is my favorite dashboard right here, is pending listings. And we've talked about why, because when the pending listing gives you kind of a little bit of a handle on short-term direction in the market. Now, those of you who are new are going to look at this and go, okay, where's this? Well, we're down about 35% in the number of pending listings where we should normally be. We should normally be kind of in that 9,000, 9,500. You see this drop here. Don't get hung up on that, folks. That's the end of the month. Okay, and we all know a lot of people do their transaction at the end of the month. They buy, they sell. So don't get too moved by this number. But as the month progresses, we sure hope to see this turn up like that. If it continues down here, it's not a strong sign, folks. That's telling you, gosh, this market is still weakening. By the way, I kind of think it is still weakening. I think we're going to weaken into the end of the year, and then we can kind of reassess what could potentially be happening in the springtime. Okay, and then let's look at the last one, days on market. Here you go. Now, these are by the months, these dots, not by the days. Okay, so you see over here, you have the 2nd of March. Over here, you have the 2nd of October. Okay, so you can see that we've just been basically bouncing along at around 80, 85 days for your average days on market for your listing. You can see where we came from back here. 1st of October of last year was around 60, 62 days, which meant the properties were moving faster. Okay, hey, that's about it for right now, taking kind of a look at the month of September. I do appreciate you coming along. This is Jim Miner, your Greater Phoenix area realtor, and I'll tell you what, give me a call if you'd like to get a lot more in depth and drill down in these numbers and find out what's going on in your neighborhood, in your zip code, your address. Because if you're thinking of selling or you're thinking of buying, boy, make sure you've empowered yourself as much as you possibly can. Running over to the big sites and saying, oh gosh, they said my home is worth this. Yeah, okay, they're wrong 46% of the time. Okay, so hey, give me a call, 602-345-0433. And with that, we'll talk to you at the beginning of next month. And you folks have a nice October. And let's get that Sparky and the ASU Sun Devils going here. And hopefully they win and beat USC. Go Devils. Nice job to U of A and those folks taking care of Oregon. Pretty good, huh? All right. Hey, enough of that. Folks, have a good month. Talk to you soon. Thanks very much.